Hello everyone, I'm Courtney Dehoff. Rob McClendon will return next week. 11 years ago, several Oklahoma companies got together to discuss how they could collectively increase the sales of their products. By pooling their resources, they created a substantial marketing campaign, and the Made in Oklahoma Coalition was born. From onion rings to barbecue sauce, Oklahoma produces it all, and with a little help from the Made in Oklahoma Coalition, the Oklahoma food processing sector continues to expand.
10 years ago, local food companies got together, and as a marketing ploy, we started sharing our money to buy ads to promote Oklahoma. We became organized, and the coalition came about to remind people to buy Oklahoma products.
Rob McClendon sat down with David Brooks from the Made in Oklahoma
Coalition.
Coalition.
Made in Oklahoma program, and as companies get big enough to be in good distribution and have a way to produce enough product, we mentor those small companies and show them the ropes to get into local ads, to get into the local grocery stores, that kind of thing. And it's kind of just free help from people who've been around the block a few times.
Natural Water Company's Jerry Dyer says the MIO Coalition helped them flow to the next stage of business.
I joined about 3 years ago. The group there is fantastic in just helping companies like ours that maybe haven't been in a retail or a food service type business before. And they've opened up doors, given me contacts, you know, who to talk to.
And with overflowing product comes big economic impacts.
Of the Made in Oklahoma companies, of which there are 35 of them, we have a little over $3.5 billion in sales with a B, and about 70% of that actually leaves the state of Oklahoma. And the good part is the checks keep coming right back here to help the Oklahoma economy. The other important part is we have almost 20,000 employees in the Made in Oklahoma Coalition companies.
But it's not just about Oklahoma.
We went down to Texas a couple of years ago, and we went down as Made in Oklahoma. Well, nothing Made in Oklahoma works well in Texas. In fact, they ran us back across the Red River. So we went back as good for you, good for Texas. And it worked. We are now advertising in Texas, Oklahoma companies as good for you, good for Texas. That has also spread to Missouri as good for Missouri. We're in good for Arkansas, good for Louisiana, good for New Mexico. And it is just Oklahoma companies banded together to market together out of state.
And it's not just a marketing campaign. The MIO Coalition helps support local food banks.
It's good, and the way we do it is we have a paper towel now, the Made in Oklahoma Coalition paper towel. We also have it branded as good for Texas paper towel. All the proceeds from those paper towels that we sell here and out of state go to the local food banks. So that is a give back, and that's the good for you part.
Food manufacturers aren't the only ones involved in the Made in Oklahoma Coalition. Restaurants also play a big role.
85 restaurants in Oklahoma that have been identified as good for you, good for Oklahoma restaurants. And that is because there's a benchmark of the number of Oklahoma items they need to carry. They need to be cooking every day in their restaurant. And 85 have done that.
Here we go, and I'll be right back.
Zach Pritchard and his family are always satisfied with the Made in Oklahoma products they serve in their restaurant, Pete's Place.
The restaurant has been, loyal to many Made in Oklahoma products. Many of our steaks and our other meats are cut from Made in Oklahoma companies. So we've been very happy with the products and the quality that Made in Oklahoma has produced.
And thanks to the MIO Coalition, food processing sectors will continue to ship Oklahoma-grown food to all your favorite Oklahoma restaurants.